President Donald Trump posting on Truth Social that he will terminate the temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota.
This headline can be easily misinterpreted, especially if you're watching those fake news media. Oh yes, they will make it seem like President Trump is going after a specific group, President Trump is going after a specific race or a specific religion. I'm here to tell you, this has nothing to do with any of that. President Trump is simply going after the criminals, and Trump made it very clear since during the election. He said, if you elect me, we are going to make sure we hold criminals accountable. And that's exactly what's happening. What danger does a country face when its elected officials represent two different places at the same time? When its elected officials represent two different countries at the same time? Whose interest are you really putting first? Because we all know you cannot serve two masters. And that's exactly why someone like Ilhan Omar has absolutely no business to be in Congress here in America. And she made it clear many times, her loyalty belongs to Somalia and its people.
Here's what she said and what people are criticizing her. For as long as I am in the U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing that I am here to protect the interests of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. The woman you sent to Congress working day and night to protect your interests.
She should have been removed from Congress immediately after that claim. Because at the end of the day, politics is not just about policies. No, politics is about alignment. Politics is about identity. It's about loyalty. It's about who you fight for. And most importantly, why. For her to be in Congress and publicly claiming she's only working for the Somali people in Minnesota, what a disrespect to the American people. But the point is, this is not about the Somali people in Minnesota. This is not even about Minnesota. This is about the American people that are tired to keep seeing foreigners move to this country, use the resources of the American people, abuse the resources of the American people, and then they go back home, and then another wave of foreigners come, do the same thing over and over and over again. Enough is enough. Even if you have the green card, if you move to this country 2-3 years later, you cannot support yourself. The government should not be responsible to take care of you. No, you go back home. I don't care you have the green card. You go back home. We cannot allow people to come here 2-3 years later. The government has to take care of them and all their families. It is unacceptable. It is unfair to the American people. When are we going to take care of the American people? When are we going to take care of the American veterans? When are we going to take care of the American elders? When are we going to take care of the American children? And here's another thing. If you come here illegally, and you have a kid while you are here illegally, this kid is not a U.S. citizen. You got to go with that kid when you live too. Now, the question remains, why did President Trump go after Minnesota?
A new, stunning report from the City Journal showing a massive fraud scheme in Minnesota. You have to hear about this. It involves false autism claims, the Somali community, and connections to a terror group. Let's explain over at The Wall. Now, it all revolves around Autism and HSS program. That is Minnesota's Medicaid Housing Stabilization Services. Now, this was created to help seniors, addicts, and others find housing. But the criteria to enter this program was incredibly loose and therefore easy to take advantage of. It's led to fraud and costs absolutely exploding. Just 5 years ago, in 2020, costs for this program were $2.6 million. 4 years later, by 2024, cost had been over $100 million, 104. Through the first 6 months of this year, costs are at $61 million, meaning if you double that over the entirety of the year, you're looking at $122 million. In 5 years, from $2 million to $122 million. Now, why? 6 people are accused of defrauding HSS, and they're members of the Somali community. But this just gets worse if we take a look at Minnesota's federally funded autism program. Now, several people, and this is an example, a woman in the Somali community, are co-conspirators, and they're accused of recruiting kids for autism therapy. They brought in families, had them convinced to get their kids diagnosed as autistic. In fact, these families ultimately ended up having various social services bid for their children, competing with the size of check that they would get. It didn't matter if the kids had autism. And what happened? Autism claims to Medicaid surged. In 2018, $3 million. By 2023, listen here, from $3 million to $400 million. Autism providers jumped from 41 to 328 in 5 years. Now, City Journal reports that the Somali fraud rings send a lot of money back to Somalia. 40% of households in Somalia get remittances from abroad. That totals $1.7 billion. That is more than the entire budget of the Somali government. Money being sent abroad, from abroad, back to Somalia. Where is that money going? Take a look at this. Most alarmingly, a lot of that money is funneled through money traders, and in the end, ends up in the hands of al-Qaeda-linked Islamic terror group Al-Shabaab. So to bring this full circle, the Minnesota taxpayers are funneling money through fraudulent autism claims back to Somalia, where that money lands in the accounts of Al-Shabaab.
Wow. I think all of us watching this video, that's the reaction we have. Wow. For some of us, it may be like WTF. PG-13. Now, let us be clear. There's no direct connection between Congresswoman Omar and all these criminals. There's no direct connection, at least for now. But you mean to tell me a scheme that massive happening in your community? We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. We are talking about billions of dollars over the years. You mean to tell me you had no idea this was happening in your community? And it has been reported some of these criminals interact with the Congresswoman. Some of these criminals even supported the Congresswoman campaign. But the Congresswoman had no idea those things were happening. Tim Walz has no idea those things were happening. They kept looking the other way until President Trump had to step in and say enough is enough. Tim Walz, Governor Omar, you guys had no idea. It is hard to believe. Oh, another question we can ask. Are these people getting kickbacks? I think that's a fair question. Bottom line is, guys, I think the people that run for office here in this country, they should embody, they should have the same values, the same beliefs as the American people. If you are a foreigner, you move to America, you become an American. If you are against that, don't even come here. Now, just because you are an American, that does not mean you cannot, eat the same food you used to eat at home. That does not mean you cannot have the same religion you used to have back at home. However, when you come here, you have to embrace American culture. You have to embrace and respect American values. Now, of course, there are a lot of good Somali people in Minnesota that have nothing to do with all these fraudulent activities. But we are responsible for the actions of our peers. And that's why you see something, you got to say something. If you see a Somali person is doing something terrible, you got to call it out. If not, you are going to be held responsible as well. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. And of course, please give this video a like. It's gonna help me a lot with the algorithm. We are here trying to grow this channel. The struggle is real, man. The struggle is real. We are here calling out the nonsense from these Democrats, but at the same time, we are upholding and promoting conservative values because this is what we believe in. God, family, country. Repeat after me. God, family, country. May God bless you, and may God bless the greatest country on the planet. May God bless the United States of America. Oh, say, can you see?